Started um
I've never live
posting
streamed before.
ever.
No.
Oh, really? Nice. Well, you're doing
Yeah.
great so far.
Okay.
I will do my best to make this a painless endeavor. Cool. Are we live? We're not live yet. We're live. We are live, and we're side by side, which I forgot to do. Cool. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Keith. Matter letters, knowledge, information, and hopefully at least a bit of entertainment. This evening we are going live with Michaela, who hosts some pretty cool dream stuff. Say hello, Michaela.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Cool. Come on in. Take your shoes off, everybody. Stay a while. Take your shoes off. Stay a while. Nice. We're gonna talk about some. What's up, Catalyst? Nice to see you. I would like to talk about. We're gonna do obviously some lucid dreaming stuff. We're gonna get into nightmares and their role, at least personally, their role in lucid dreaming. Some cool lucid dream hacks or cool things to do during lucid dreams that I could share that might spark some light bulbs for me, Kayla. And we're just gonna bounce back some cool dream stuff because I've been dreaming like mad this past week. Have your dreams been any different this past week? I feel like in my small circle it has.
That you're hearing from others as well?
Yeah.
I did have a nightmare this week actually, which I usually don't have, but otherwise they've been pretty steady this week.
Pretty steady.
Yeah.
My that dream that I shared with you for a second, what was it yesterday? It was gotta be the weirdest, most substantial dream I've had in as long as I can remember.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. What's that? I know. That's why I had to get you in the live. I was like, well, there was a couple different dream things that came up, and I was like, let's run a live, man. Let's make the dream thing happen. So thank you for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sage Crow, how's it going? Remind me to take the tincture. Oh, nice. Yeah. See, I don't know. You can pull up the Michaela the YouTube video if you want to read it.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I'll just send you the links and the Zoom room. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Lemuria, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. All right, let me figure out how to send it to you. All right, in our Zoom chat, there's a link for the YouTube. That way you can keep up with what everyone's saying. If anyone wants to tune in, or you guys feel free to ask questions. We're more or less shooting from the hip. However, I do want to talk about the nightmare hack that I have specifically for lucid dreaming. And I would hardly call it a hack because I wouldn't recommend to force nightmares on yourself. That would be awful. And then you started saying something. We were talking beforehand about the nightmare stuff. And Michaela, you had something to say, but we were like, oh, we'll just talk about it on the live. So feel free to run that whenever you would like. I can't even remember what you were saying at this point, which is probably a good thing. Should you start with that? Would you have to say, or should I talk about the nightmare thing, or what do you think?
Sure. I mean, yeah, and we just, shoot the shit about nightmares and lucid dreams. I mean, the most interesting thing I think to me about nightmares is dreams can be so many things, and so same with nightmares. The last nightmare I had is definitely because I got like energy all over me, like foreign energy all over me. And I, didn't take care of it before I went to bed and went straight into it and had some weird nightmare. And they can be about, parts of yourself that you're not facing, parts of your own power and strength that are ready to be integrated or reintegrated back into yourself that seem like scary, or you're going to have to do something outside of your comfort zone or a little beyond your, normal vibe to claim it. And that can come as a nightmare figure, like being chased or being stalked or an animal hunting you or something like that. And then it can be also like trauma and where your soul is lost in time. And then it could also be something that might literally happen to you in a future, like a near future, like an accident.
Premonition kind of thing.
Yeah. But also nightmares, I've found, at least in my own experience, I've found that they can work almost like a mechanic. It's a mechanic of the dream itself to induce lucidity. Or that's how it started out for me. My lucid dreaming started out for me as being induced by nightmares. By either nightmares or disassociation. And my playback's like with the YouTube is like behind, so now I can.
Oh yeah, we timed it 22 seconds or something like that. So definitely turn the volume off. It's gonna throw you off.
No, that's cool. I'm just gonna quit it for now. But anyways, so yeah, they started working as a mechanic to induce a lucid dream where I would be in a situation that would be so terrible, and the emotional hysteria that was induced by the experience at some point caused like a break in the reality, or my conscious association with the reality, where I was like, wait, is this real? And then I would question it and be like, wait, this could be a dream. Is this a dream? And then that would do it, and everything would change, and I'd be in a lucid dream.
Can you give us I forgot to mention your background, and I know that you're studying Robert Moss.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the dream master. I've got probably 4 of his books. I've only read half of one, but it's good. But it's been, and that's this past week, right? Before I started talking to you, I had started reading that book, and that's probably what sent the subconscious spinning. But could you give us a breakdown of where you're at with that, and how you teach with that, and what you do with that?
Sure. I study Robert Moss's work. He really is like completely in his league of his own, out of this world. His work is a synthesis of dream practices from around the world and throughout time, from archaic shamanism to Greece, Egypt, indigenous America, and everywhere, all in between, and then synthesized into a modern framework that people can do who are busy and don't have a ton of time, and don't have a ton of time to like spend an hour talking out every issue that might come up in a dream. So it's the
Yeah.
So the way it's done on the most basic level, the way he synthesized it, is a way to share dreams that can be done in like 5 minutes, super quick, super easy. It's called lightning dream work, fast and easy, over breakfast, lunch, dinner. And it's oriented towards forming an action to take out with you into the world that honors the dream message, even if you don't know what it means. And that's the thing about dreams, is that sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it's really not. And if you talk if you only have 10 minutes and like, oh no, you don't figure out the message of like the dream, which is very intricate, you don't want to just leave it behind. You still want to do something about it. So it's like, oh, I have a dream of a red car and I have no idea what it means and I have no association with it and it doesn't mean anything to me. What am I going to do? So it's like orient towards an action and see what happens. And then you can keep playing along and also resume your daily life. So it's like, okay, whatever you're going to do about it, how about like throw on a red shirt?
Yeah.
Do something. You just do something to ground it and stabilize it in your waking world. And then it can continue to work with you in this world. Because a dream has an energy of its own, it's energy. So, so it's like, I wear my red shirt. Somebody at the coffee shop says like, hey, nice shirt, usually I'd be like, thanks, man, whatever, and turn away. But I'm like, oh, now I'm doing something intentionally for a reason and with a purpose. And so maybe I can also understand where to direct more of my focus in a day-to-day thing, So I'm like, okay, I did something intentionally. I can give this a little bit more of my focus where normally I might not have. So I'm like, okay, cool. Meet somebody new. They tell me about a new show happening Friday. I go to the show. I meet my new partner, my new collaborator. I go to a different show. I hear a song I really like. It makes me happy, like something else, So it's like, it's just grounding it in the world in a way that's quick and easy. And obviously it's nice to then to talk about dreams for an hour or leisurely, or like really get into it for as long as you want, but it's built for everybody, and it's built to bring dreaming as a practice back into daily life, as like a routine that most people would do, because it is a universal foundation of human life that we all participate in and have. I mean, we have to sleep. We all sleep. Obviously, we dream when we sleep. That's been proven. And so like the dream is fundamental to our survival as a human being. And it's just fascinating that I've said the word dream to people and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, your dream. They're like, what do you mean my dream? I'm like, what kind of dream? Like my aspiration? I'm like, no, your dream. I'm like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, that's hilarious. When I was a kid in class, we had these little workbooks in grade school, and it was like, when I dream of, and you're supposed to be like what you just said. Oh, I dream of being a something. And I wrote, I dream of two angels in a boat, because it was a dream that I had the night before. I was like, oh, I dream of two angels in a boat. I was like, oh shit, I thought you meant dream, like not aspirations, like,
right. Well, the word has been commandeered, which is also an interesting point. I don't really know what to make of that, but it is as we know, language is very powerful. And it's like, why would we get to a place where we forgot about dreaming, but it's something we all do.
Yeah.
But we have no structure for talking about it. We have no way to discuss it. If there's any sort of discussion, it's kept in one-on-one in your psychotherapy office with somebody who has a very narrow, well, this isn't a generalized assumption, but with somebody who has a narrow scope of like how you would talk about dreams and what they are and what they mean. That's still very material oriented,
Yeah. That frame that you gave me was pretty damn concise, but also well-rounded at the same time. What it meant, I can't remember what it was, but is that what you're talking about when you're a proper framework for analyzing the dreams?
Yeah.
Is that from Robert Moss as well, or what?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So it's basically called the Lightning Dream Work Practice, and you start with a title. So you give the dream a title, so it makes it like you stamp it with a reality. It's a story now. That's great. Then you talk about the feelings when you woke up, as feelings can be an indicator of the power cord. The
power cord. See, mine went out too. It's a thing.
Power cord. It's a thing today. The time sensitivity of the dream, or the sensitivity of the material of the dream. So like if you have a dream that you get hit by a car outside of your house and you wake up in a nervous wreck, then you might want to pay attention to that, because dreams are primarily about survival. Now we have a lot of mediums to tell us about the weather and upcoming events and what to expect, and telephones and stuff. But before then, this was like a primal source of survival. Or the dream feeling upon awakening can be about your soul path and purpose, like something you need to do right now to, yeah. Most dreams are neutral.
Wait, go back. You said that most dreams are about survival. That's definitely true, right? Now that I think about it.
Yeah. I mean, it is a survival mechanism to be able to go out of the body and see in the near future is a mechanism for survival. I mean, that's even. Wow. Okay. Yeah. There's so many ways we can go. So many levels we can go into.
How do I unpack?
Yeah. How do I unpack? So, I mean, a dream in some cases, a dream could be a place where I am able to meet with the spirit of things around me in my environment, since I'm also in that form. I mean, it seems like I have a body, but I am technically in my spirit form. And so I can meet on that, vibrational fleet, on that wavelength, literal wavelength with the environment around me. So I can then meet the spirit of the animals I need to hunt.
Oh shit.
Or, right. Or
Yeah.
the things that, provide me with shelter and safety and whatnot. And from the stories I've read, it's something like, we meet in the spirit world and we make deals,
Hmm.
you give yourself to me and I will honor you, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then you're able to, like, know where to go and your day is made easier to feed your family and feed your community. You're going to get heads up about the weather and what's coming towards you, about any kind of foreign entity, like a tribe or a person coming in, a foreigner coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's there's so much to say, but I won't go get too much off the rails. I'll let you direct our ship.
Yeah, no, it's fine. The ship. There was a ship in my dream with baby Jason, by the way, the other night, and it sank. It sank. It sank. No, I was gonna. Dreams, at least today, people tend to, or anyone who's doing dream work or using dreams as sources of premonition, is lumped into this new age category or spiritualist category. But I like to watch a lot of history documentaries. Like I love, or especially like war documentaries of ancient campaigns, like Alexander the Great or Napoleon, or all of them. And I noticed that all of them go off their dreams. Like they would be having, like, oh, this general had a dream the day before the battle that this happened, and so we took the advice and it was right. And like so many, and so in the past couple of days, I'm like, what if all these, like that's all you had to go off of, I guess, but you couldn't Google shit, you know what I mean? You would look at the stats, like,
well, in that case, a lot of them had like a right-hand man who had intuition, who had a gift.
Yeah.
Who would come with them and interpret their dreams. I mean, yeah, dreams are a pivot of so many stories, even like movies, and it's like hard to notice, but movies. I just watched The Manchurian Candidate, and it's a movie how like, and it's it's like the title I put for it was How Dreams Saved America from Communism. So we'll hope that happens again. But yeah, like say there's the secret history of dreaming. Robert Moss wrote A Secret History of Dreaming, which is really good.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it kind of has a couple of those stories. Joan of Arc is one of them. She came from like a lineage of women who could talk to the trees, communicate with trees. What? And she was on her vibe with the animals around her too, like on the super nature vibe. So there's this story. I'm terrible at remembering actual names and dates and things like that. So this is my rendition of this story. So if I don't get it perfect.
No, I'm taking notes anyways. I just typed in Joan of Arc talking to trees. So that's all I needed. That's all I needed. Right on. For a really healthy rabbit hole. Thank you for that.
There's this hella good story where she's like, it's like one of their last battles. It's a hella important battle. And there's like, and the enemies are like in a trench and they're hella close to them, but Joan of Arc's army doesn't see them and they don't know that they're there. But Joan of Arc's got like the nature on her side because she's a dreamer and she's like a pagan witch lady, and she's got like the deers on her side. And right before, like, they were marching ahead and they were about to like hit these fools who were going to attack them, like surprise attack them. But right before they did, a couple of deers or something like that, like ran through their trenches and busted their spot. And they all like had to like fly up and stand up, and it like busted up their scene. And it destroyed their plan, and they like weren't able to. And so then the Joan of Arc, yeah, she conquered that. She conquered that battle.
I had no idea. I knew Joan of Arc as a saint because I went to a Catholic school growing up, and she was the saint I picked. I was in fourth grade. I remember that. I was like, I'm gonna do my project
Really?
on Joan of Arc. Yeah, I picked Joan of Arc. Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
I love that.
Yeah, she was the saint I picked, and nowhere in my Bible studies did it say she was a pagan. Dear, of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. But now I'm
Mhm.
curious how that whole thing played out.
Yeah.
The plot
Harriet
thickens.
Tubman too has an amazing story that he was says in the book where she got hit in the head. She got a terrible head injury when she was younger, and she was defending somebody, I think a little boy who was being attacked, and so she got hit in the head. She got this head injury that then gave her a form of not narcolepsy.
Which one's that? That you fall asleep right away?
Yeah, when you
Uh-huh.
fall asleep kind of uncontrollably. And so then the story in The Secret History of Dreaming, as it goes, is that when she would fall asleep, she would leave her body, but be in her environment consciously and go on like conscious journeys outside her body, right where she was. And she'd be able to like go up and see where she was at. And it's like, how does somebody get across the state and like where they're being hunted across like hundreds and hundreds of miles? How do
Yeah.
you move across land that you're unfamiliar with? You have no like tools and you're being hunted. Like, and so the story goes is that she would have narcoleptic fits or whatnot, fall asleep, leave her body, be able to see the land and where they were and where they were going and where there was danger and enemies and shit like that, and come back and then direct her groups um
Damn.
like that. Yeah, with her special powers of conscious dreaming.
All right, I'm gonna segue. Lucid dreaming, because what you just talked about with Harriet Tubman sounded more like astral projecting, which is why whenever I was telling you it was my gateway drug, lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
It was because I was trying to astral project, and the easiest way for my research was doing it through lucid dream. So that's when I went deep into lucid dreaming. So I'm just curious. You said you had one technique for your lucid dreaming. Like, can you do it at will? I certainly can't. I certainly can't. I wish I could, but I can't.
I wish I could too. Someday.
All right, cool. I'm glad there's another dreamer out there that doesn't claim to lucid dream at will. I feel like everyone in this world is like, oh, lucid. I'm like, what? How the fuck are you
Really?
lucid dreaming that often, man? I get like one every few months if I'm lucky.
Same. I hit a nice run actually like in January, but that was the most I've ever had kind of consecutively, and so I'm more like you, it'll come every couple months if I'm lucky.
Uh-huh.
But no, I definitely don't know. Yeah, I know.
Your January run, were you doing something in particular?
No, no,
No.
not really.
Were they coming from your nightmares, or were they coming from regular dreams, or?
Luckily, the nightmare thing doesn't happen anymore because that was like, it was kind of something to induce lucidity, to, I don't know, get myself used to it, know that it was possible, keep being able to enter the dream or recognize as a dream, or it's just about like memory and building muscle. And so that's luckily doesn't happen much anymore. That was more like 10 years ago that would happen.
Same.
And now it's now I don't really, they just kind of like, I'm in a dream and then all of a sudden it's kind of like, oh.
Really? That's how it happens?
Yeah,
It's just
the triggers used to be very dramatic. They used to be either nightmares, so like emotional hysteria, like being hit in hysterics in a situation, which is interesting because a lot of people talk about that to induce states when you're conscious and awake, like altered states. Like conjuring emotion is a huge thing. It's what like the whole point of like ritual and costumes and songs
100%.
and the nighttime and the fire and like all this storytelling.
The drama, the dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah, the drama of ceremony, especially when they're like really bringing in the mythic time and like doing some gnarly shit over some days, and you're getting like, you're getting anyways, and then all the way to just theater, of like going to a play and having an emotion aroused, like
yeah.
being able, the arousal of emotion is what drives conscious states. And if you can do it and get enough aroused and channeled in the right way, it can induce states of consciousness that are altered. But that happened in the dream.
Beautifully said, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah. So that's how I explained it. Happened in the dream is just like the hysteria of like so much nerves and in the nightmare, and then being like, wait, hop up and be like, this can't be real. Like, it's too bad to be real. Like, this can't be my life.
Oh, that was okay. I was curious how it unfolded, but okay.
Yeah, there would come a point where I would play it out for so long, and it was like these dreams were kind of like everybody turns against you, and like all this shit's going wrong, and your best friend's there, and your sister's there, and your mom's there, and you go to people for help, and they're like, "We're not gonna help you, fuck you," and you're like, "But like, you're my sister," and they're like,
"Yeah."
And you're like, your best friend's mad at you, everybody hates you, worth it, like all this shit, and you're like, wait, honestly. And then the tip is never ask anybody in your dream. If it's a dream, they will always say no. Also learn that one.
I've told people that they're in a dream and watch them have a total meltdown.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about that one.
It's I can't remember exactly what happened, but I just remember telling them that maybe someone, Lemuria, you're here in a lot of lives. Do you remember what happened? I've talked about this, but it's been a long fucking time. I was in the classroom setting, and I went lucid, and I told my homie he was a character in my dream, and then I told him he wasn't real. That's what I told him. I was like, "You're not real. You're in my dream." And of course, I didn't write it down. I've been lazy with my dream journaling for at least 2 to 3 years now. I'm so sad, but I've done it, and it was the most interesting thing. So if it comes to me, I'll share it with you. It's gonna bug me.
Yeah.
My nightmare cue is, I know I'm dreaming when I have a nightmare and I can't wake up. And that's all since childhood. I'm trapped in the dream. And so since I was a kid, I was trapped in the dream. And then learned that one of the cues for lucid dreaming is repetitive themes. And so I was like, oh, I have nightmares all the time where I know I'm dreaming, but I can't wake up. But I was like, I'll use that as a chance. And that same night, I had a nightmare and had the thought, went lucid. And I'm convinced that I'm not convinced. I play with the idea that I'm under some sort of etheric attack, because I was being chased by these Tasmanian devil looking things. Like, they were tornado blurry from the waist down. They were chasing me around this place. Went lucid, walked outside of the house, and of course it's just like I could feel the carpet under my toes. It's the bluest blue, grass is super green, and all the Tasmanian devil things are now like 9 foot tall, light purple skinned, bright orange, almost like frizzy, not quite nappy like a fro, but just really frizzy, fire red hair. And they were like Amazonian looking women, super tall, like Amazonian looking women. And I go up to the closest one, and she's mugging me, and I tap her because she's like 2 feet taller than I am. And I was like, what's good? You guys are chasing me, and now you stopped. What's going on? And she looked at me and she said, if you only knew what you were capable of, you would devour us all. And I was like, holy shit. And the chiefess that was in the middle of all of them, they were all huddled around each other. She must have been like 11, 12 feet tall. She was even a head taller than the rest of the other girls. And she was just burning a hole through my soul as she looked at me like I fucked up her plans, kind of. And that was the first time I went lucid. And of course, I was like, whatever the fuck that means, like, forget you guys, I'm out of here. So I started flying and shit. And then I woke up because I got excited. But that was my first lucid dream.
Wow.
So whenever I go, but now my nightmares have evolved where I don't know I'm dreaming anymore, and it's not the same. I feel like my dream space is, at least as far as the nightmares are concerned, they change when I become hip to them. And I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but it's definitely, I have to stay on top of it, basically, to use the nightmare as the outlet for lucid dreaming.
Totally. Wow, that's an incredible dream. There's something so interesting about like the content, and this isn't really I'm not like, I'm kind of just spitballing here, but like how the content of the dream changes depending on your understanding of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm having a nightmare that there's these like Tasmanian devil like monster things chasing me, and then the second I realize, I become lucid and I'm like, wait, this is a dream. So like my consciousness shifts, my perception shifts in like a very real way. They completely transform. And so like my sight of them transforms. Like maybe they didn't transform, but maybe how I was able to see them transformed, as in like a spectrum of light, you know. It's like we're only seeing in this spectrum, and then once we can like flip this switch, we can see in that spectrum, and in that spectrum they look different. And so it's like it's just a really interesting phenomenon.
It could be because it was linear. It wasn't like they changed form. I just knew it was them. I didn't question it was them. It was like, oh, that's them. Like, what's good? I didn't even question like, why did you change form? You know what I mean? It was like maybe I knew all along, and now it's just appearing, you know, so that would make sense.
I was watching one of your videos. I don't know maybe what the title, I think it was the blood magic one. And you're talking about how you don't attract things to you. You don't attract things, you tap into a different level of conscious awareness or perception. And in that way, you're able to participate with your external world differently, maybe in a more fluid way, hopefully. And it's kind of something like that, you know, is what I'm feeling just in this very moment.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
Like the second the lucidity comes, there's something like your participation with your world is totally different. And I think it's so interesting to experience it and then be able to talk about it and conceptualize it and then apply it to how it might be similar in our waking experience too. How
was your first lucid dream?
My first lucid dream was I actually just recently went back and looked at the first like 100 pages of dreams I wrote down like 10 years ago. And I actually had a couple. I had it was like kind of this sequence of dreams that led to a first like really real lucid dream. But the first lucid dream was very short. I just knew I was dreaming, and I was on a bus with a friend, and I like went over and I was like, oh, I can choose to stand up and talk with him. So I did. Then there was a series of dreams where I would have another mechanism of the dream, I think, that tries to induce lucidity in us is disassociation, which is also a method used to like alter states of consciousness in the waking world. So it's interesting that it's like also used in the dream too, where I would have false awakening dreams. Right. So so you wake up multiple times, like where you're actually sleeping and you think you're awake every time, and then every time you're like you get up and like do something mundane and something mundane, like, oh my god, and it keeps happening until you're so dissociated from any type of reality, and you're like so confused, like it's like a very deep confusion, dissociation, which triggered lucidity for me, which triggered a switch to be like, oh no, this is a dream. So a series of those kind of dreams, a couple of nightmares, like I said, so the like emotional hysteria, dissociation and confusion, and then a couple I had where I was almost lucid. I was like, this is a dream. And then I turned and I asked somebody and they say no, always. And then, I started having, and then it kind of like worked. Also, paired with dreams where I would be spinning really fast. And so like a consecutive amount of those like 3 or 4 types of dreams led eventually to my first lucid dream, and onwards from there. And then I've had, like you said, I've had interacting with characters in a dream is just like,
that's the coolest part.
It's so cool. I mean, it's
the coolest part.
I've had like one of my best dreams. I was lucid and I was interacting with my like recently deceased grandmother, and it was epic.
Uh-huh.
And then another in that dream, I was oh, okay. So I was able to use the one tip I knew, which was if you become lucid in a dream, instead of trying to like control everything or like go somewhere else or whatever, work with what you got, you know? So if there's people around, ask them why they're there. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
why
I like that.
dream?
I like that.
And so the first time I tried that, it worked really well. I was having a dream with my grandmother. I knew she was deceased. I was lucid in the dream, but we were standing across like this kind of dim living room, and she had this very stern look on her face, like not friendly or inviting or like sweet or warm. And so I started getting nervous, and I was like, I want to ask her why she's in my dream, but I don't know if I want to know the answer. And so I was like, until my jaw started locking and I couldn't talk, and I had to get like, it took a long time for me to get right up into her ear and like talk without my jaw. Like,
you were lucid this whole time.
Yeah. But I was still getting like kind of influenced by the dream a little bit with the emotion. The emotion is what, like, your emotion is like, you can see your emotion in as objects and like moving objects in the dream. It's just so crazy. But the emotion drives the dream 1,000%. But anyways, after I got that question out, everything transformed, and she was like 40 years old and she was super happy and we were having a great time. And she's like, oh, Michaela, I'm here to tell you about the other side. And she's like, here, I'll show you this. When you're alive, the mind is like this. And when she said the mind is like this, like from this to this became a box of like blue swirly colors. And she's like, and on the other side, the mind is like this. And when she said that, the boundaries of the box dissipated and became the background to where she was standing. And now I use it as a portal to go to the land of the dead if I want to sometimes.
You travel to the land of the dead in your dreams?
Yeah, well, consciously. One of the staples, I guess, of active dreaming, which is Moss's term for his dream practice, is conscious dream journeying. So going into the dream while you're awake during the day, as in like kind of an active meditation sort of way.
Yeah. I'm getting so excited about the dream talk. It's been such a long time since I've put in a lot of dream work in the waking world. And when I do, I swear I remember I go to sleep and wake up in the dream world and carry on the dream like multiple days. It's the wildest thing. I've just been so goddamn like caught up in the rat race these past couple of years, like 3 years or so, that it's been tough. Like it's like I was listening to Robert Moss earlier, one of his interviews, and he said something like a stern old grandmother would say. She's like, if you want to be lucid in your dreams, like you got to be lucid in your waking life. You got to, I was like, oh shit, that's right. That was another thing I forgot, like being mindful of this realm so that it reciprocates on the other realm. It's like like muscle memory that you were talking about. There's so goddamn much. I haven't traveled anywhere in my lucid dreams. Mostly just have conversations. But what are you doing traveling to the realm of the dead in the lucid dreams? Whatever you want, or what?
Oh, I mean, I use it as a portal when I'm in, so like for conscious dream journey while I'm awake. So
while you're awake.
Yeah.
Looking for a pen. I'm trying to draw out. Damn, letters. I don't have a pen. Here we go. You're gonna have to describe to me what it looks like. What is you said in my head, it sounded like you were talking to masculine and feminine. You're like, it looks like this, and here's a square box, and then the other side is no box. It's just this like etheric potential. Like, all right, that's cool. It's the conscious, subconscious, or the masculine, feminine. They're like here and then not here.
There's something interesting about it. Like you be,
like you be what?
Wait, sorry. Did you want me to repeat about what I was describing, or?
I want you to tell me all of your secrets. All of them. I have my pen. No, I'm just kidding.
But Robert was portal.
That's what it was. You're like, I use it as a portal. What you use what as a portal exactly?
The image from the dream.
Oh, the squares. Okay, that's probably super nuanced. You can keep that one. I'll have to figure out my own portal.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I'm like, yeah, totally. And like we can, like Robert has some and we can make some up. There's a lot of good ones from that's where when we pull from like mythology,
yeah,
and archetypal stories, because like they're all so the same, and there's these tools and keys and portals that have already been built and established and held for a really long time, and that we can use for sure. Sacred sites.
Oh shit, nice. That's right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, like there's a temple of Asclepios in ancient Greece where you would go, and if you were sick, and you would go there and you would sleep there and kick it there until you had a dream of healing, know how to heal yourself, and then you could go, and sometimes actually then the next thing to do is go act it out on the stage for the people.
Oh, no shit, that was part of their practice?
Dream theater. Yeah, totally. So like in a conscious dream journey, it's like we can do the same thing. We can reenact all of those things that are still imbibed in our consciousness because they've been given so much energy and are held as a frequency. Like the place and the meaning and the intention and the power behind that is all still held in our minds and in our conscious field, and it's held as a frequency. If we can tap into it, we can experience the same thing too. So if I wanted to go and do that, that sounds dope. If I want to go to the Oracle of Delphi or the pyramids of Egypt, or there's this like sacred thing that people used to do that I'm down with, like whether they're my ancestors or across the world, like
I'm down with that. I'm down.
I can go into a conscious dream journey. It's basically like an active meditation fueled by, conjure an emotion of necessity, like conjure up some energy, use a drum as your horse or your tether back to reality, and go in there and do your thing and like experience it for yourself.
You do all this stuff. This is part of your practice. You're spitting right now as if this is something you spit on a daily as part of your practice and your what did you call it? It's in the title. The Dream Party Hotel.
Yeah.
Can you go into your Dream Party Hotel with a little more? I'm not even sure what that is.
I learned all of this great stuff from Robert. I went to his workshops for years, and then I did.
You met him?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Nice.
He does workshops all over the world. Besides the last 2 years, all over the world constantly. And so I went to a couple of those, and then I did his entire teacher training. And then
what? Nice.
Yeah. And then he has an entire teacher training. It takes
awesome.
It's over 3 years, and then it's once a year, but it's over 3 years, and then a master class, and then maybe he'll make some more after that. But anyways, I did all that, and I was like, damn, how am I going to title like what this is? I want to share it with everybody else, because they're just the weeks that we all go up and do that, they're just the best. They're just the best ever. When you're like in a group that all you're doing is talking about dreams and doing activities based on dreams. Sounds like so much fun. A week straight. It's everything gets more interesting. Like time works differently, and connections are so deep, and things are like, there's just like synchronicities and like things everywhere. It's just crazy because you're just telling stories and imbibing and embodying energy that is from a space that is timeless and more fundamental, and in what a lot of people would say, at least back in the day, is like the real world, the realer world.
All right, I'll throw in something because I want to talk about we talked about tapping in archetypes and what's already there, whether it's like a global conscious level to already hop on the juju that's already been established in the dream world. However, there's I want to talk about how important it is to utilize, like you said, what's already there, like not necessarily in the dream space, but what you're used to, what you believe in stronger. For example, it's easier for me to fly in dreams when I have wings, because it's easier for my sort of psyche to conceptualize flying with wings. And then one time I went lucid, and to keep lucidity, I started losing lucidity. I went back to remember 007, the video game? Did you ever play that when we were kids? No. So in 007, you would throw mines out and they would stick to the wall, and you would like chuck these little circular mines and they'd hit the wall. And some were proximity mines. You walk by them, they blow up. But in the dream, I was like, oh, I'll use these proximity mines, but they'll be dream stabilizers. So I threw these little mines into all four corners of the room. And when they hit the wall, they stabilized the wall. So I was able to prolong the lucid dream by using this video game that I used to play as a kid. And it fucking worked. As soon as those things clasped against the wall stopped. Because that's when I lose lucidity, the dream shakes. It's almost like disharmony, like a splash, like when you're swirling water, it just starts to fucking go crazy. And the wall did just stop. They stopped, and then they stabilized the dream. So for the people who are listening, I wanted you to go deeper on that. He's got to talk about something like that, right? Like use your own personal nuance for guiding the dreams or the lucid dreams or activating certain things, right?
Definitely. I mean, that's a really dope example. I love that. Yeah, I mean, anything that gets your imagination going is perfect. Video games are actually like I think they're good for that in a lot of ways. I don't play them, but I'm not even familiar with the culture, but I think in a lot of ways it's like continuing. It's something that's like holding the human imagination in place while everything else is finishing it. Cause it's like, oh, look at all these, like, it's so creative to build or create the video game. And a lot of them, I mean, I'm kind of talking out my ass right now, but I think there's at least a handful of them that are based on legends and myths and that are fairly accurate. And so I think it is, and it's actually become like this good tool to keep the imagination alive in this interesting way. But yeah, that's imagination is key. It's like absolutely key. And I can tell you from my own examples of understanding an incredible lack of imagination on my own part. Sad. I've been in lucid dreams where I'm like, oh, what should I do?
Oh, that's the worst. Because then it's too much. It's overload. You get
too much. Yeah. So now I've had to having things just kind of on the tip of your on the tip of your mind, like you did with the video games and like cool things you can do. And then I'd say my only tip for that is do them is practice while you're awake. Like in any moments you're like sitting at the bus stop or waiting in line, or you have to wait for something to heat up, you're cooking. Practice those things, look around your room and instead see a bird flying around and just watch it and watch how it moves and watch how it works, or do the things you do in the video game.
Shit, that's cool.
It's like we can do it just little bit so it's fresh on our mind, so then when we land in the place, we're not like I've done way too many times. I'm like, shit. I'm in a lucid dream. I could do anything right now.
I know.
Oh, I can't think of anything. Wah.
No, it's the choice paralysis or whatever the hell you call it.
That's a good one. Yeah, choice paralysis. That's legit. That's a perfect term.
It's I feel like that's almost telling of waking life, it's like you could do anything. So, but because you could do anything, you do nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at in waking life. I'm like, I could be doing this. I'm really good, and it makes me really happy. And it's like, but I could be doing that. I'm really good at that, and it makes me really happy too. And it's like, I ended up doing none of them. I ended up playing video games because it's the easiest thing that makes me happy. You know what I mean? And it's the easiest to get done here and now. It's fun to see how much the dream world reciprocates the waking world.
Yeah. What I'm doing, where I'm at right now is I was the last lucid dream I had, I've been trying out. The last lucid dream I had, I remember the few small details, which were really cool, that were a little different from other ones. The first one was that I was sitting in my living room, and there was this dude sitting at my table with me, and we were chatting, and then all of a sudden he started getting deformed and shape shifting into this weird demonic kind of gnarly dude. And I was like, oh damn, it's like a bad spirit or a demon or something. I know one prayer in Sanskrit, that's the medicine Buddha. And so I started saying it at him, and I started like pounding my fist on the table, like saying like, Baisaja Guru, Baisaja Guru, like screaming medicine Buddha at him. And it worked. He got up and just excused himself out of my home. When he did it, he turned.
I will be leaving now.
While he was doing it. So I was like, oh, that's chill. Like I've been wanting to like say being able to like recite an ancient prayer in a space where you actually see its instant manifestation of how it works. Like that's a really cool thing I'm into at this moment. And I got to try it and it did work. Like I was trying to clear energy. I said something that's meant to clear energy, and it literally walked out my door. I could see it leaving. And I was like, cool, thumbs up. I know that works for sure. A couple weeks before that, I found myself in a place where this man had a bunch of pigeons, and he trained. And he was like, let's do a pigeon releasing ceremony. And we're like, great. And so you got to hold a pigeon and say a like intention or prayer and let it go. And I just said the medicine Buddha to this pigeon because I didn't know what else to say. And so after that, I was saying it over and over in my dream. I walked outside of my house and a pigeon came and flew around my head.
Well, no shit.
Like, oh shit. So it like picked up on the prayer. It did work. It came back when I like said the prayer, the pigeon came back. But from where I'm at right now, I think the next step to do is I want to really focus on meditating in a dream.
Ooh.
And like seeing where it goes, because I've found myself too many times being in a dream and like exploring the space, asking people why they were there, running into a lot of, speaking of video games, running into a lot of like NPC-ish characters where they just stand there and they start repeating a program and they're like and you're like, what the fuck? They're so weird and they're like just illusionary, like they're empty. Like sometimes there's realer like people and spirits and like that you're working with. And then a lot of times I've just run into just like empty like facades, and it's so bizarre. And so I'm like, okay, I think the next thing to do is like actually just sit and focus and meditate and see the experience of meditating in the dream. That was my intention. And then just a couple of days ago, this dude hit me up, who we met on Clubhouse actually, who is a Buddhist monk just on his own. And he was like, yo, I have this, I created this practice, this Buddhist practice for meditating in a lucid dream, and to be able to like up your game, and I wanted to share it with you. And I was like, damn, this is like,
he told you that without you saying anything to him about it?
Yeah. So I was like, damn, this is exactly what I was looking for actually, and I had no idea where to turn really. And he just like hit me up, and so yeah, that's the next step.
Damn, I feel like people are slipping if they're not taking the time to make use of their dreams.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You're doing it anyways. You don't need to take time out of your day. You know, I mean, maybe you do need to take, the time you need to take is 5 minutes in the morning to write it down, because that's like the number, because your memory is a muscle, and if you write it down, you'll remember them, and if you don't, you won't. And that's just, I mean, in my experience,
that's basic. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I can not write a dream down for like 4 days and I'll stop remembering them. And I have like thousands of pages of dreams, and it'll just go away. And yeah, I do. I did my notes on my phone for a long time, and now I do voice recording.
Do you find the voice recording works just as good as writing them out?
I don't know that there's much of a difference that I've really noticed. I just like being able to keep my eyes closed and not have like the blaring screen is a little much. And especially if it's a long dream, it's like a little much, but.
Well, I mean, handwritten, like.
Oh, I've never really been with that.
Ever?
Not really. No, I mean maybe my first or second, and then I always just went to my laptop and did it, because it's like there's so much that you have to get out so quick, because it's just slipping, the doors closing, and you're like the pen, and then your hand hurts and you can't read what you wrote. Oh damn.
That's funny
Wow.
because I just found this, and I've had this probably since I was like 22, or like 10 years ago, and it's just been for the past probably month. It's been sitting on the floor next to my desk, but I'm convinced handwriting them works way better. It's almost like
I'm
you're more involved. You know what I mean? Like it's the your hand and your brain, and you have to take the time, and like you're a little more thorough. Oh, there's a little spider right here. What up, little spider? Or a tick? What the hell is that?
uh-oh.
There's an anonymous insect crawling in front of me, and I have no. God knows what it is.
Hopefully
This is
not a
all
tick.
you. I'm a
Anything
dream.
but a tick.
I don't know. I honestly can't tell. It's not definitely not. Certainly not a spider. That could be a tick. Huh? I don't know. I have no idea. We don't have ticks, so that's why I'm like, that can't be a tick. There's no way that's
Okay, good.
casually a tick just cruising across. Oh yeah, try writing them out. I'm curious.
Okay.
The only reason why I don't write them out is because when I start writing them out, I'm like fucking 4 pages deep for one. Like it'll be 3 dreams, and like it's just not practical to handwrite shit out after a while, especially when I'm in it. I've got 4 or 5 dreams at least. If I journal tonight, don't smoke any weed, journal it every night for the next probably week and a half, I'll be right back up to 4 or 5 dreams a night with ease.
Yeah.
Like with ease.
Yeah, totally. Anybody can start, and it's so easy, and you just write it down. And it's like, it's kind of hard to get the first one maybe, or the first 2, but all you have to do is write anything down when you wake up. Like wake up and just write your name down on a piece of paper, like freestyle anything, and it'll just get the ball rolling and the energy moving, and it'll come like that. Because as easy as they are to forget, they are that easy to also start remembering. So
good point.
Yeah. Anybody can do it. And then there's a few special cases where somebody might have consciously or unconsciously pleaded for their dreams to stop. And in that case, then you might have to do something a little bit more to get them going again. But I would say more people than not just need to start writing them down.
Wait, say that again. Some people could make
I'll tell a story of Roberts. He has a story of this man who couldn't, is it a man or a woman? It doesn't really, I think it was a woman. She couldn't remember her dreams, and just right, like the practice wasn't working. And so you go to the last dream you remember. The last dream she remembered, she was a very young child, and there was like a hand reaching from behind a curtain, and she got scared in the dream. And when she woke up from the dream, it was like became a nightmare, and she was so scared that she prayed for her dreams to stop.
Oh shit!
And they did.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had to go back in that dream, in a conscious dream journey, go enter into the dream with like protection and your friend, whatnot, whoever's with you, so you don't get re-traumatized, and you see what's up. And it turns out in her dream reentry, it turned out that the hand behind the curtain was this man who was a family friend. He was like the guy who owned the candy store, and he was like a family friend of theirs who had died in an accident that disfigured his face. He didn't want to like show his face, but he wanted to like give her like support, like keep showing up for her and support her. He wanted to like make her happy and give her like a piece of candy or something, like do something nice for her. But it was like done in the wrong way, and it freaked her out so much. So like in the dream reentry, she's like, oh my God, I know who the strange hand was. It was this man that I actually really loved when I was a child. I was trying to be nice, but like it just came across the wrong way. Yeah. So, and then her dreams came back like that. So, I mean, sometimes it's like, if you're writing them down, if you're writing stuff down and you still can't remember, go back to the last dream you've ever had. Or if you cannot remember a dream at all, I would say then you just have to create one for yourself. And I would do that by just dropping in for a sec, finding a place on your body that feels uncomfortable or an extra sensation or just something, putting your hand on that part of your body and letting an image come up and play out for a little while. And that's your dream, and that's where you're going to start.
You hear that, you guys? I hope you're taking notes. Your boy is. Always take notes. That's good to know, because we talk about dreams a lot on the channel, and there's always someone who's like, I They could be lying to me. I don't know. I can't. It's hard to tell. Like I do everything, and I can't remember dreams. And someone's like, I did the water. I tell people like, fuck, drink a bunch of water before you go to bed, and it should wake you up in the middle of the night and during a dream and write that shit. And they're like, that doesn't work. So I'll keep that in mind. Maybe there's something. One, that technique, that waking dream technique, and then the other dream contract that it sounds like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else. I totally forgot. Oh man, balls! Did I write it down? What happens when I write things down? The problem is I can't write everything down. There's just always things. There's just too much pouring out. All right. Anywho, for those of you that are just tuning in right now, this is Michaela. She is somewhat of a dream master. Did you say that program took 3 years to finish?
Yes, but it was
by design.
Yeah, but they were just because they're once a year for 3 years.
But that's pretty cool. That's like, it's not like get your Reiki certification in 48 hours or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all right, cool. I would like that. It's almost, I feel like we're getting to the point where we don't want quick shit anymore because there's just so much quick everything, and almost it's not satisfying to finish something. I think I signed up for a hypnotherapy course. It was like for $20 and you could finish it in like a weekend, but it was just so easy come and go that it was like there's nothing behind it. I couldn't get excited about it as compared to like, this course is going to take 3 years. Like this year you work on this one, integrate it, make use of it, put it in practice the following year. You know what I mean? The following year.
Right. Totally.
They're asking if you have a channel that they can. I don't think so. You don't have a YouTube channel, do you?
I do have a YouTube channel.
Oh,
I mean, I have one subscriber, which is myself on my personal channel.
Michaela, you have 0 subscribers if that's the case. Like that's
yes. Well, one.
You're gonna have one official one. You're gonna have.
I have a Dream Party Hotel as a channel. I uploaded like a couple little mini dream movies I made onto there where I'm just telling dreams and I put some imagery to it. That's the extent of my channel, but I also I put more out on like Instagram and stuff.
I see. Yeah, you do have a Instagram. Okay, so
Dream Party _hotel.
I will post your Lemuria. Speaking of weed, finna go smoke. I've been trying to cut back a lot on smoking weed because the dream thing, but also I play music in a goddamn reggae band, and we've been gigging a lot lately. So I smoke with the homies. I smoke at rehearsal and at shows. But if I'm rehearsing and playing shows multiple nights a week, I'm just getting baked all the time.
Yeah.
So at home, I've been not smoking anymore just to balance things out. So I wish I could smoke with you, Lemuria, but I'm drinking water. I know that's not very exciting.
Yeah, I had to do all of that too. I mean, I was a stoner when I was it's been a while, but it was hard to trade in smoking for the dream. But
is that what the decision was? Smoking for dreaming?
Sorry?
Is that what the decision was? Smoking for dreaming? Is that what the trade?
Yeah. I mean, it's like the one fucking the only thing, the only problem with pot. As like otherwise it's like, it's got all these great properties, not addictive, very good, like better than any other choice except, and then it's just got this one fucking thing where it's like, but you don't get to remember your dreams. You're like, really? I haven't met anybody who can do both yet.
So here's the thing. I can, but I don't know what the potential without it is. I've smoked casually. I've never been a heavy smoker. Like it'll take me probably a year to smoke an ounce of weed, if not longer. But I still smoke multiple times a week. So I've never gone completely sober of cannabis and gone heavy into dreamings. So I really don't. I know that if I dream journal, I'll remember 4 or 5 dreams a night if I'm smoking. Like easy. Like last night I got super baked and had a crazy ass dream last night. Um, but like I said, I haven't scientifically tested it to know what the effects are. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is like, all right, let's go balls deep into the dream practices and not smoke and see what happens. Like, see, maybe I'll have 10 dream. Maybe I'll be if I can dream. Have you seen oh, what's the movie called? It's a new Pixar movie with the music. Someone help me out here. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's a character in there, Pixar movie, jazz, like the jazz players in it. Let's see. Soul. It's called Soul.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like that goofy ass character who does the sign twirling on the corner, but when he does it, he goes into a shamanic trance and saves souls on the other side. Remember that part?
Kind of. I wish I remembered it more because that's like such a relevant thing.
It's when you rewatch it, you're gonna be super stoked because the what happens is people. I might be saying I've only seen it a couple times, but people who are caught in the sort of rat race, the mundane, and they lose lucidity of their waking life. They just become the NPCs you're talking about. Are described on the etheric realm as these like they lose their spark and they turn into these monster things, and this or like gloomy, oversized, slow, monolithic things. And the dude who twirls the signs on the street corner, he trances out while he does that, and he goes into this etheric realm and he saves the souls. He like has this pirate ship that he sails over the sandy dunes, and he lassos these humans that are like these black shadowy figures, and Chant does like a drum circle around them and breaks all the shit off of them. And then in the waking world, that's when they have their epiphany and they like quit their job. Like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Like, what am I doing with my life? And that's what he's doing. He's like releasing people from that on the other side. When I saw that, I was like, that's the fucking coolest thing. But because shamans do that shit. Like they go on the other side and release people and like do their work on the other side. I would love to do that. I'm not convinced it's a real thing. I would like to experience it firsthand, but I'll give it 110.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that from what I've learned, in my perspective, a shaman is somebody who has to be able at least to enter into a dream consciously. So everybody goes asleep and goes into a dream, but we all, 99.9% of us fall into unconsciousness and then wake up in a dream. And right. During that unconsciousness, we have this amnesic whatever, where we enter into the dream and then we wake up and the most ridiculous shit can be happening. And we're like, no, this is my life. This is how it's always been. This is how it's always been. I'm being chased by a dinosaur. It's 1920. I'm in New York City. Nothing's like weird. This is just always, this is my reality. And it's always been this way. And it'll always be this way. And I'm very concerned about it. And I get triggered by everything. I feel cold and I feel pain and I feel all of these things. And I fall in love and I do everything else. And it's like, it's just anyways. So we forget and we can't bring any of our waking intentions into a dream world where we can then do things like have, like participate in instant healing and do the shamanic work of, finding lost pieces of our soul that are stuck in time and going and kidnapping them and bringing them back into our time now and our body now in order to heal our auric fields of, and have protection against disease and mental illness and anything else. So I don't know. So I would be strapped to find somebody who can do that. I'm sure there are a lot of people disagree with me, but that's okay. But we can play, we can do it for ourselves. That's kind of part of the conscious dream journey. And that's like kind of it's like, okay, maybe I can't like really like for real go straight from my waking into a dream state without losing consciousness and be full lucid. And like, maybe I can't do that, but I can induce some of it. I can do what I can do. And I can play like shaman for myself, like not really I wouldn't say I would do it for others, but we can teach each other how to and support each other mutually to do it for ourselves. So it's like one of the like shamanic or at least in archaic shamanism, is their concept of soul loss. So like when we get traumatized or something bad happens, or part of our soul goes away. So, and it either gets, the way I can see it is it either gets stuck in time, like a literal holding pattern, but like the frequency of that moment as like a frequency code, almost like a barcode, gets stuck in time and just holds there. Like when we're injured, our like muscles kind of contract around our bones and stuff like that, and they hold, and that's the actual injury. Or they'll go, parts of our soul will go away where it's somewhere better. Like say we have an abusive home life and we can't get out of it because we're a child, then parts of our soul will go away and go live somewhere good where we're not getting yelled at and like, you know, like shit like that. And so that sucks. But in time, when things change, it's up to us to go and find those lost parts of ourselves. And everybody has it, because like it's, the trauma can be getting embarrassed, you know. It doesn't have to be this crazy thing. It can just be this one time where your nervous system gets so contracted that you create this like stamp in reality that just holds itself in place. And then you keep getting informed from that place, even though you've moved on in time. So like, even though it's 10 years later and I'm like, my mind is like, what? That doesn't matter anymore. I've moved on from that. Your nervous system has still contracted around this, still holding a frequency that's from over there, and then is informing your emotional reactions to your world, how you engage with your world. And so you're literally being informed as if you were still 10 years old in your house getting yelled at by dad, even though you're 40 in your job talking to your coworker.
Or your
you
boss.
know Yeah, anything. I mean, yeah, anything. And so like, it's why like people like, you know, like fall into the same mistakes, mistake people from one another. You know, like you have a new boyfriend who's nice to you, but you still treat them as if they're abusing you because you can't let go of that other, you know. And it's like one aspect, like the dreaming kind of entryway into that sort of healing would be image based and energy based. And so like a dream is able to tell you through an image where you are still operating from, that's over back there. And like where there's like, because a dream is like an energy and an image, it's relaying a frequency that's vibrating somewhere that's stuck there, and you can see it, you know, visually while you're in the dream. And so it'll make itself into an image that you can see and interact with and play with. And if you can and so if you have a dream where you're like, damn, that does remind me of that time, or like this thing happened that like kind of screwed me up a little bit, and maybe that's like still fucking with me right now, you can use that dream in a conscious dream journey. You use the image and step back into it, and you're literally just giving it light. You can change the frequency just by re-looking at it, putting new light on it. And then you kind of work with it, see if like there's a part of you that's stuck there, a part of you that needs to come back to now time, or however else it plays out. In the like archaic shamanic story, the shaman goes into the dreaming to find a lost part of your soul. And it's usually this like very intricate drama that where that usually involves like kidnapping and brokering deals and like stuff like that, because like the soul's like, no, I'm good here, I don't want to go back, like I left there. They're like, no, things are different, you gotta come back. They have to like kidnap, like put a bag over your head, like take them with you into the now time, put them back into the body of the patient. But in this time we do it in a more kind of gentle way, where I like go to my younger self and I'm like, look, I know that was shitty and you left, but look at, I'll describe my life now. Conditions are different. I don't have that. That's not going on anymore. And look at all these things I've done that like you would like. And if you come back with me now, I'll honor you in a way. I'll start painting again. I'll start
nice.
I'll start working out again. Like you do something to honor that parts of yourself, so they want to come back and they want to stick around. And in that way, you like you kind of so you're doing a lot of stuff at once, healing trauma and psychologically like orienting to your reality right now and your future instead of always in your past. And you're a lot of times people find like really new sources of energy and creativity and directions and space in their life for more capacity for love and good feelings.
Yeah. What a thought. What a concept. It's so like weird to imagine you're having conversations with different parts of yourself that would be having conversations back with you. Like you would assume that your soul is this thing that is whole and has its own singular consciousness, but you can talk to a piece of your soul that was tucked away as if it were separate, and they can talk back and letting you know how it feels and how it felt about things in the past and how it feels about things in the future. And you're like having this dialogue between yourself, but a visceral dialogue between yourself in this space.
Mhm.
I was going to ask you earlier, because you said the NPCs in your subconscious, you don't think that the NPCs are you? At least that's what they say, right? That they're you.
No.
Maybe, possibly.
Fuck, I hope not, dude. That sounds terrible. I talked to the guy who, my friend who told me about the meditation that he created. I was like, yeah, man, because now I just keep running into these like non-entities in my dream. And he's like, yeah, and he was like, yeah, it'll get the lucid dream. Like once you've gotten used to it, will get a little redundant, and then it's kind of time to do the next thing. And here, I'll show you what I did.
The meditating
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's a very Buddhist oriented meditation of, centering, witnessing the self as like what it is, so temporary, so just flesh or just bones, or like non-body, disassociating from the body, being able to transform into all things, trees, birds, whatever. And then there's like, you go on and on and on from there. So I'll get back to you. I'll let you know how it goes.
yeah, you need to start writing at least one dream by hand. I'm curious to see how it goes.
Okay, I will.
And then the NPC thing, because when I feel like every time I've looked up talking to dream characters, everyone says it's parts of your subconscious. But like how fucking the internet goes, like I feel like one substantial person says something and then it just gets mirrored on like 50,000 blog posts, whether it's relevant or not, especially in a world that it's like the dream world. How hard is it to like extremely difficult to scientifically verify shit like this, you know what I mean? So it's cool to hear you talk about the NPCs where you're like, no, that's not me at all. That's it. I need to figure out what's going on with that NPC dude over there at the corner.
I mean, dreams can be so many different things. Because, like I said, I talked to my grandma, and she's not an NPC. She was right there, like I was like with her, and I've had other lucid dreams where I've interacted with different characters in completely different ways. I had one where I interacted with this guy who was like I was saying a little while ago, who was like some bad spirit who transformed when I said, like he wasn't an NPC, but I just have found they're not all like that. I've just found a couple more recently and it's just like the weirdest.
Interesting. Yo, those are the psychic spies from China that are trying to steal your mind's elation.
Yeah, they're
really.
Like, cool. That's cool.
I think that might be what's going on.
I always try to preface things in my experience, unless I'm like quoting something from a book or an author, but anybody who says something definitively about dreams just from that, like it's not really hard to say unless you're coming from a specific culture with a specific lineage of a dream practice. Then it's like you're speaking from your lineage, and that's something different, and you're like, okay, because it's very obvious that they're speaking from their lineage, and that's the preface, and we know that that's the context. But somebody just like getting up and saying like, this is definitely how dreams are for everyone all the time. It's like
no, the NPCs are you. Like, how do you know that? How do you know that? Like, that's like I can't say almost anything with complete definitiveness on this channel. I feel like it's half the battle. I love talking about stuff like this, but people always ask me like what's this or that, and I'm like, I don't fucking know. Could give you a really good inclination of how I feel and how I think it works based on all these things, but who fucking knows, man?
Yeah, no.
Good luck.
Amazing job. You have an incredible channel, and you're very eloquent and knowledgeable, and I think you do a great job.
Appreciate that. I'm going to. You guys have questions? We're going to start wrapping this up. Wow, we've been going for a good while now, a good hour or so. I don't know what the timestamp is. I feel like we've just been dreaming this whole time. It's like a giant dream. What's your sign, by the way? I feel like I have. It sounds weird saying that out loud, but it's only because you're a dreamer. Like, what sign are you? Out of curiosity.
Western astrology, I'm a Leo, and sidereal astrology, I'm a Pisces.
Well, what are the so give me your three. I'm not an astrologist by any means, but I'm just curious to see.
I know I don't really know my Western chart very well. In my
Okay.
Western chart, I am a Leo.
Ooh, you're a rebel. Nice.
In Vedic astrology, I am I have my sun is in Ashlesha, my ascendant is Revati, and my moon is in Uttarashada.
That's might as well be in a different language. It
Okay.
is a different language, to be fair. To be fair.
If you're interested in Vedic astrology, I got a channel for you.
I don't have the mind space to fucking open up that can.
Yeah.
I don't even have the mind space to open up Western astrology, to be completely honest. Oh man, I try. I think I like reading the philosophical stuff, like the Hermetic stuff and the occult stuff and old dusty book stuff as well. But like when the astrology, I maybe when I come of age, maybe I'm like reach into my Gandalf years, I'll tap into the stars a little more. But
I would, yeah. I mean, you gotta pick your poison. I mean, there's so much to learn. It's so overwhelming when you get into something and you just look and you're just, especially like alchemy and mythology and dream, like all of this kind of. I mean, it's you just day by day.
I know. That's why I'm like, I'll. It's nice to compartmentalize, like, all right, I got this handled, squad. You got questions, I got you. You handle the stars, right? You handle potions, you
right?
Handle divination.
Totally. We need our own I don't know what you would call it.
Dream party hotel
organization. Yeah. The hotel. I just threw I put the party in there because I was like, what people don't want to do dream work. People don't want to, I didn't want the word work in the title, but I didn't know what else to like call it. It's not analytics because it's analytics are like this much of what we do. It's not work. It's kind of work, but so I was like, okay, party. We'll do party.
So you went with party. You were like, nah, fiesta. That sounds like.
A lot of people think it's gonna be fun because it is fun, but you have to like. I feel like people,
Well, it is fun.
It's
super fun. Like, I don't think people get it, man. Like, if there was a point in my life where I couldn't not think about going to bed that night because it was like I was living two lives. It was like I was straight up living two fulfilling lives simultaneously, and it was just the fucking coolest thing. And I don't know if a lot of people have been able to experience that, like spending a week in dream, going to bed and waking up multiple times in a dream space is just unbelievable, literally, until you experience it, and then you're just like, the possibilities of humanness runs so deep. It's so dope.
Totally. I mean, people are tripping about like time and dying and not having enough life to live, and it's like, well, there's a third of it that you're probably forgetting about, so you could try just going and remembering that. And that part of it is also a part where time works completely differently. So like you said, you could have 3 weeks in an hour, so how's that for time saving? And if you want. So we can all start with what we already got. It's free too.
It's for free. I'm gonna give your channel again. All right, guys, ask questions. We're gonna start wrapping this up, and I would love you guys to ask some things of Michaela or Michaela.
Either way, I like the way you say Michaela. That's better.
I like Michaela.
Go for it. Yeah.
That's how I knew how to spell your name, by the way, familiar. There was a girl I went to school with in grade school. Her name was Michaela.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so
I can't see any of the chat either. I don't. So
it's cool. I can't.
You got questions? Okay.
I'm going to pull that up. I've got a bunch of tabs. I've got Pixar movie sold jazz. I've got Joan of Arc talking to trees. I've got Dream Party. Oh, that's right. Here's the link again to Michaela's
Website. That would be great. Yeah.
Oh, you have a website as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me your website.
Dreampartyhotel.com.
Dreampartyhotel.com. Really, no one else wanted to start a Dream Party Hotel, eh?
Well, I wanted, and then I slid hotel in there because I wanted to put a sense of, well, it's a place of hospitality for your dreams first and foremost. But my vision is to have a hotel, so like a beautiful hotel where people come to dream.
Oh, what? Nice.
So that you can go and do your other things you want to do around wherever we're at, but like there's dreaming programming with dreaming all day and evening, and so you can go there and get your dream on, and everybody else is doing it too. And when everybody else is getting the dream on and like talking about dreams in the morning, you're all like kind of sharing a space. Wow, really cool shit happens. Like really, really, really interesting stuff goes on. Nice. So I threw the hotel in there. So like somebody someday will be like, wait, it's not a hotel? We should make it a hotel. And I'm like, yeah, we should make it a hotel. Do you have one? Who's got one?
I got land. I got 10 acres of bare land that I've been trying to do, for the love of God, something on.
Oh, really? Okay, let's have a dream party.
Something. Yes. I'm trying to do if you know any shamans, I used to have a shaman go through and do weekend like ayahuasca the whole night, all freaking toads and shit. Like they were going all in. And but now they're doing stuff in NorCal. And so it's just sitting. I'm like, I would love to get retreats going through there, groups going through there, like dream stuff going through there. Like,
oh, we can do that. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
I would love that.
Yeah, easy.
I would love that. So we'll reconvene on that. But I have all your paraphernalia is on there. That's you guys are asking for channel, Dream Hotel. Seaflower, what's up? Speaking of sea flowers, just before the reason why I was taking forever to let you into the room was because I was researching how to make homemade liquid kelp fertilizer. And why am I talking about that? Oh, sea flower. So yeah, sea flower. I've been doing sea flower studies with liquid kelp. It's pretty easy. You just get a bunch of seaweed and let it sit in a bucket for a couple months and strain and apply. For any of you gardeners out there, are you a gardener? Do you like growing shit?
Oh wow, I'm getting into it this time around.
You working on it?
Yeah, I'm from a city. I don't really have those skills, but I'm learning. Yeah.
Nice. I was told, and I've been feeling it, that I really need to repivot my channel to do more plant talk, because that's my other passion. Like I love growing shit. Grow mushrooms, or grow plants, or grow trees, or grow like frankincense and copal trees.
Wow.
I grow anything and everything.
You're definitely the only one I know who grows frankincense and copal. But you mentioned something when we were jumping on here about spagyrics. You messed around with that.
I don't have the equipment to make spagyric. My boy out in Colorado's making that, but I do have my own distiller. Like I do essential oil distillations and stuff like that.
Wow, cool.
Which is super fucking cool. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's super. But the spagyric are you familiar with spagyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other ball game. I haven't tried yet. I need to send you my my lucid dreaming spagyric. I'm running out.
Oh, yeah. No, you can do it. My homeboy got really into it and he started doing it, and he lives like in Oakland, California, like in an art warehouse. Like you can do it with what you got. I'll ask him for his stuff, so I'll hit you up on it.
All right.
Maybe
like that's where I'm like, do I have more pride? Like I don't know if I can handle a expand the lab. I'm just I'm in my den. It's like a actual man cave. It's like a small barn shed. I'm surprised the rain doesn't pour through. The sun certainly comes through with ease. They're like barn doors and shit, but Crampton. So I live in SoCal, and it's hard. Your dollar doesn't go a long way for land out here. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, you really just need some sort of outdoor space where you can have a little camping stove and make a fire.
Oh, dope.
Burn it to ash.
You gotta calcinate it or something like that. Cool. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's do that too. El Jazz asking, how do you, if you assist others with their dream journaling or memory, which is a big yes, but you should go into that for everyone who's in the room right now.
Yeah, for sure. We were kind of talking about it a couple minutes ago, but for anybody just getting started, I would say what it takes mostly, besides if you have a weed habit, that will affect it. And then what I've heard also is like, if you also have that habit, try to smoke before the sun goes down and try that. But other than that, it's just about writing them down, recording them, audio recording them, phone, pen and paper, audio recording on a phone, writing them on your laptop. Just write them down. So if you wake up and you're like, I don't remember a dream, how am I supposed to write something down? Just write anything down, write your name down, write something that's going through your mind, write how you're feeling. Just start getting in the habit, getting in the doing the rehearsal for when you do remember. But it should only take a couple days, less than a week, if you actually wake up and write some stuff down to start remembering a dream. When I wake up, I like to keep my eyes closed. I'll like open them and be like, okay, I'm awake. And then I'll keep my eyes closed. And if I can't totally remember everything right away, I'll ask myself, like, what was I just doing? And just try to center, try to like keep your mind focused on where you are instead of being like, oh, it's Wednesday, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. To keep focused and be like, what was I just doing? What was I just doing? Was I, and you can even be like, was I running? Was I jumping? And then like, what was I was just doing something. What was it? That helps me sometimes. Alarms do not help me at all. Alarms. So if you have to use an alarm, I would say set it for the time you need to wake up. And then before you go to bed, tell your body to wake up, like command your body to wake up 15 or 20 minutes before that. It works better than you would think it does to be like, body, you hear me? Wake up 6:30. And then, and try that. So then you have your alarm set to go, but like start just trying to tell your body when to wake up before that. And you can start naturalizing to not waking up with an alarm, and that will help a lot. Also just having an intention to remember your dreams. You can write it down. Like you were saying, the pen and paper, the tactile practice of it helps pen to paper with your hand and everything. That definitely changes something. So writing something down and then thinking about when I'm falling asleep, just like, I'm going to remember this dream. I will remember my dream. I will remember my dream. I'm so grateful I remembered my dream, put it already in the future as if it's already done.
The actions too, you mentioned that earlier. That's huge.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know about.
And then that ties into the lucid dreaming. Well, dreaming while awake. How do I start lucid dreaming when I have no trigger? I read the book Conscious Dreaming and it triggered me into a lucid dream. So you could try that too.
Yeah, even having conversation. The list, like, I'm sure I'm going to dream like crazy tonight. Just from fact, it's just letting your subconscious know, hey, I'm interested in your dreams. Please, for the love of God, like, let me remember them.
They come like that. They're part of your human experience. Everybody, they are universal and they're foundational for our life on earth. And for some reason, they've been completely taken away from us to the point of like absolute amnesia, that like you can go around and people don't know what you're talking about. And that is bizarre, that it would be, like not everyone knows what it even feels like to have like a right hand, or like, a head of hair, or like a sister or something like that. Like there's tons of commonalities that aren't necessarily universal, but like this is one, and we don't talk about it. Nobody talks about it. Nobody knows what to do about it. And it's like, it's only been that way for maybe 100 years or so. This dreaming was an intricate part of everyday life for all people all over the world. There's a word for dream. And I would be very surprised to find a language that's existed on this earth that did not have a word for dream.
Yes. Asterix. She wanted to know, let them know she does one-on-ones too, you guys.
Yeah.
I think that's what Elja was at. Is that what you were asking, Elja? She said, do you assist others with their dream practices?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does do one-on-one. Look up Robert Moss, you guys, because the dude is like, listen to him on YouTube. He's got some really cool interviews and lectures. Shit, maybe I'll try to get him on the channel. That'd be dope if Robert Moss came on the channel.
You should. Yeah, but if you just put my website out, all my offerings are on the table. I can do one-on-one, and then I'll run a group. I'll run a group the groups will run for a month, like once a week, and so they'll be every other month or so, and then I can do one-on-one for anybody anytime. And then I'll if you're not in a position to pay, I do a free monthly dream party, just dream sharing group for anybody who wants to join with that too. So if you just jump on my website, you can see all the offerings. They're pretty clear right there. And just hit me up on Instagram or on email, and I'll yeah.
And your Instagram again is
dreamparty_hotel.
Yeah, Michaela has put a substantial amount of time and energy into the craft, you guys. So I would, for the love of all that is holy, you utilize that information. Okay, I just put your her Instagram is in the chat box. You guys, her website is in the chat box. We'll rock the Casbah. Oh, thanks, Richie. I think Richie's also posting it. Her YouTube channel. Do you post a lot of stuff on your YouTube channel?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I opened it maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah, go follow the YouTube channel.
Been making little movies, micro movies. You could even call them that, out of my dreams, as a way to share my dreams in like an artistic way. That's not just like me telling you a dream, it's more interesting than that. And so I've made like 3 or 4, and I mainly post them on Instagram, but I upload them to YouTube as well. So yeah, I got about 3 videos, 0 subscribers.
You have one more. Hopefully. All
right. I will post. I'll post more videos for sure. And if I'm happy to make videos answering prompts and answering questions too. So if people want to like hit me up with questions specifically, I'll happily make videos for y'all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, thanks for tuning in. It seems like the questions are done unless I missed them. Jay, Richie, Seaflower, Eljaya, thank you guys so much for hanging, chilling. MKC. Did I miss anyone else? Oh, we had a bunch of people in chat. Sorry, you guys. I missed a bunch of your comments. It's hard to keep up with the comments when we have the guests on. My bad.
Yeah, I bet.
Jay Catalyst, you've been on a fruit diet for a week? That's dope. I hope you've been eating good fruit. It's nothing like shitty store-bought fruit, man. I hope you have a couple fruit trees or some homies with fruit trees. Best of luck. Starseed, thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you. I haven't been too active on YouTube. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. I've been doing a lot of music lately, so it's like I only have so much time in the day to do things. Plus, the garden's been coming along. Fuck, I gotta. Yeah, we'll do some garden chats. You'll have to come back for the garden chats, Michaela, because oh man, it breaks my heart that you live in the city and can't. Do you have land at least? Do you have?
Oh no, I'm out of the city now, but I was born and raised in the city, so I just don't really have those skills. But I'm learning.
Dope.
This is the year. I'm out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Stay with us.
Oh yeah, for sure. I will.
Okay, I'm gonna end the video.
Done.
Michaela, you'll still be here with me when I end it. But yeah, thanks for chilling, you guys, and I'll see you real soon. All right. I'll see you real soon. All right, peace out.